Welcome to this Java Break with Basis. The topic for today's session is XCALL in action. My name is Nico Spence. I'm the Chairman and CEO of Basis International. And today we'll be showing you how to bring the powerful BBJ features to your existing Pro 5 or Visual Pro 5 apps through the magic of the XCALL verb. Let's have a look at our agenda for today. We're going to first talk a little bit about what XCALL is. It's pretty unique. It's the only verb that exists in Pro 5 and Visual Pro 5 that hasn't been carried forward to BBJ. We'll talk about why we would want to use XCALL, some of the use cases that would make it worthwhile. We'll look at some demonstrations of XCALL in action. And then lastly, we'll talk briefly about TAI's implementation of XCALL in their club management software. And finally, we'll take your questions. So let's look at what XCALL is. It's a Visual Pro 5 and Pro 5 verb that calls BBJ code. So very similar to the call verb that exists in the language, with the difference being that you can run BBJ code from within your Pro 5 or Visual Pro 5 application. You can run either client or server-side BBJ code. XCALL passes and receives variables, string, integer, and numeric. It can also pass arrays, being of string, integer, and numeric type, and it can also pass string templates. It returns the error message -1, reports the actual error in BBJ. It supports a synchronous call mode and an asynchronous call mode if you're not expecting any response back from the XCALL verb. You can specify an application-independent configuration file for the XCALL, and you can specify user-definable timeout values. So why would we want to use XCALL in our business applications? Well, perhaps there's some functionality that BBJ has that Pro 5 and Visual Pro 5 doesn't have. And for some reason, you don't see the opportunity to move your whole application across to BBJ. Or perhaps you're planning to do so at a later stage, but wish to take advantage of BBJ's functionality right now. So maybe you wish to fax documents. So BBJ takes advantage of the fact that we have a plethora of Java libraries out there that allow us to very simply and easily implement faxing technology within our Business Basic application. Perhaps we want to print to PDF. So recently within BBJ we added the ability for the sysprint. Both character and GUI applications can output to the sysprinter as a PDF document. And you can do the same thing by calling that from within your Pro 5 and Visual Pro 5 apps and using the XCALL verb. We could perhaps have decided to move our database across. This is very common, that somebody wants to use the latest functionality of the Basis database management system with their Pro 5 and Visual Pro 5 clients. So the data is easily moved across, but perhaps you're using the X-keyed and the V-keyed file types, and you wish to create those files from within your Business Basic code. So your existing code actually recreates the file, creates a new file. Of course, Pro 5 and Visual Pro 5 don't understand the creation and recreation of those files. And so you could do the XCALL to have that creation take place at the server side within BBJ at the database level. We can create BBJ forms. BBJ forms is a very powerful functionality to create complex form output, a mix of graphics and text, and you can have that created within your BBJ code. You can run reports that have been created with iReports, so utilizing the BB Jasper utility. We can view those on the desktop, or we could simply save them to disk. You can consume web services. That would be independent of whether it's character or GUI. We can parse XML documents. We could easily send an email. And we could take advantage of public key cryptography that is fully supported in various Java libraries in the BBJ world. We can access databases via JDBC instead of ODBC. So if you're running in the Pro 5 environment, you don't have access to the SQL prep, SQL execute type verbs that are supported in Visual Pro 5 and BBJ. But if you wish to take advantage of that, you can simply XCALL that functionality on your server, your Unix server, and the BBJ can take care of providing access to that data. We can also publish Google Docs. So we've created a new utility within the BBJ utility set to be able to save documents to the Google Doc environment, to the cloud, and you could call that functionality or XCALL that functionality from your Pro 5 and Visual Pro 5 application. So let's have a look at some of the examples that we're going to run through today. We'll look at the non-user interface dependent type examples, either user authentication, so taking advantage of BBJ's integration with LDAP as an example. We'll authenticate a user via an XCALL to the BBJ services. We'll have a look at how we can store output in a Google Doc format in the cloud from within a Pro5 application. We'll have a look at consuming web services, and some GUI-only functionality would be to say view a Jasper report on the desktop, do some advanced charting, and of course PDF generation, the aspect that I referred to earlier, whereby we can leverage the capabilities of the print at type command style in BBJ to generate a PDF document. We could of course call that code or XCALL that code from within Pro5, and that same code could be Pro5 tokenized code that BBJ will simply run but output to a PDF document. We can do that from Visual Pro5, and in fact we'll show you a sneaky way of doing that from Pro5 and viewing it on the desktop itself. So with the XCALL in action, we have the Pro5 and BBJ running perhaps on the same server, and your Pro5 terminal session running. So this would be the UI independent type environments. In this case, the simple example would be consuming the BBJ web services. That all takes place on the server side, and many of the examples you'll see today take place on the server side, with merely the result being returned to the terminal emulation session. On the GUI front, where we're actually seeing BBJ execute on the desktop, we could have this example where we can generate a custom complex form utilizing the BBJ form object, and here we have Visual Pro5 and BBJ perhaps running, and on Visual Pro5 terminal session we could execute code and have it deployed or delivered to the desktop. So let's see some of those in action. So let's look at an example of authenticating against an LDAP server. So here I have the IDE loaded, and I've mounted a file system called JavaBreak_XCALL, and I've loaded up the Pro5 program that I'm going to execute. So it's a very simple program. I'm just going to do, not worrying about screen formatting, but I'm simply going to show how we can enter a username and password and use the XCALL verb here to authenticate against the remote host. I'm going to pass the username and password and get back a response of whether it's been authenticated or not. And let's look at the code that we have in BBJ that it's XCalling. Very simply, we're taking advantage of the new functionality, the BBJ admin API, to be able to pass in the username and password with a response of whether it's been successful or not on that authentication. A very simple example program. And before we see it in action, let's have a look at the LDAP setup and see that I actually have both those users set up with the appropriate passwords. So if we have a look at our LDAP utility here, we can have a look and see that under our system setup, we have a user set up as admin, and we have a user set up as JavaBreak. So those are the two users we're going to look at. Let's have a look at the password that we have set up for admin. So just to make sure it's not the default admin123, we've set up secret as that password. And under JavaBreak, we have the password set up as demo. Let's look at the permissions that we have for those two. So we have both admin and JavaBreak set up with BBJ permissions. Let's run a Visual Pro5 authenticate program then, that same one we looked at the code of earlier. And so we can enter the username admin with the password of secret, and the XCALL has returned a successful login. It's done the authentication against the LDAP server, and let's go and test the other one, JavaBreak, with the password of demo, and again indicating a successful login. And just to make sure that we weren't cheating at all, let's try and do something like C# break rather than a JavaBreak with some arbitrary password. And that fails because we don't have a user set up as C# break. And then the last one we'll check is just use one of our existing users, admin, but use the admin123, which is the default password that comes with BBJ, and the login fails as we expected. For this next example, we're going to have a look at using XCALL to connect to a third-party database via SQL using JDBC. So let's have a look at some of the source code. So here we have a Pro5 program that, in fact, it's a Visual Pro5 program that's going to execute XCALL to, firstly, down here, we're going to generate the JDBC connection string, and then we're going to execute a query, select star from customer, and then further down within our loop, while we still have data available, we'll get all the results from the select star from. Let's have a look at the program that's being called. Here's the BBJ program that XCALL is calling, and here's the enter statement for getting our connection string. If we go a bit further down, have a look at the enter statement for our actual query. There it is. And down below here, we'll see the various SQL open, SQL execute verbs that are being executed in the BBJ side, accessing the JDBC connected database. So let's have a look at that program in action. So we're back to our Windows desktop running Visual Pro 5, and we'll submit the JDBC connection string and the query, select star from customer. And there the data is populated in our grid. So the data has come across from a JDBC connection operating at the server level. This next example is going to combine a couple of really nice use cases for XCALL Verb. The XCALL invoice program here that I have loaded up in Pro 5. This is a Pro 5 program for a dumb terminal emulator. And the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to XCALL the program that uses the BBJ form. Format text.bbj is going to do a print form. It's actually going to create a nice invoice with a logo on the top and various boxes for the various bits of information that would replace a pre-printed form. Then the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to XCALL the program that'll upload that invoice that I've now saved off as a PDF file to Google Docs. And then lastly, I'm going to actually print that on a PDF file on the client. So let's have a look at that format text program. And here it is using the various BBJ form objects to do things like set the various spaces, create a template, add a paragraph, etc. I'm not going to spend much time on that. We have a separate Java break that'll talk about various output types generated. And then lastly, a very simple little program to leverage the capability of saving a document in Google Docs. So taking advantage of some of the functionality we recently added as a utility to the language. So an example here of how we can load up and save that document in our Google Docs folder as a PDF. So let's have a look at that in action. So we'll fire up our terminal emulator. We're just using PuTTY here, and there's our Unix command prompt. And we can execute Pro5 to create the PDF invoice for Gregory Baldrake, and then we can upload that PDF file to your Google Doc account. So we're executing two XCALL verbs there, one to create the PDF invoice file, and the second one to actually upload it to a Google Doc account that I have up in the cloud. So we'll just obfuscate the password here so that you don't take advantage of my Gmail account that I've set up for this demo. And what this is going to do then, this is all running from, I'm running from a terminal emulation, mimicking a green screen desktop. So we're collecting from the user the username, the password for the Google Doc account, the title for the invoice for the PDF file that'll be generated and saved up into his Google Doc account. And we can then invoke that on the desktop, view it within the browser, his browser of choice, and there it's looking at the Google Doc that we've saved, and we're able to browse through it and perhaps even go along and open it up in a separate window. So very powerful functionality, really powerful capabilities of XCALL to extend functionality that hitherto had been never available to your Pro 5 application. The next couple of samples I want to show you actually ship with the product. So let's go along to my installed BBJ. If we go into Basis, BBJ, Demos, you'll see the launch doc, and there are all sorts of great sample code that we provide with the launch doc with our demos if you check the demos box. And if we go down and have a look at the XCALL, there are several XCALL examples. Of course, you need Visual Pro 5 installed as well. The one I want to look at here is a package tracking program. So this is mimicking a character-based interface again, so Visual Pro 5 but character-based. And if I do F3 to use sample data down here, I'll populate some tracking numbers. And now I'm going to XCALL some code running on this server, which will take advantage of BBJ's ability to consume a web service. So let's do the tracking. Press F1 to track. And there it brings up the various results of those tracking numbers. So very simple, very easy, nice way to enhance your application by being able to XCALL functionality that is very easy to create in BBJ, but extremely difficult to do in Pro 5 or Visual Pro 5. Let's have a look at my next example, is running a Jasper report. So here again, I'm running a Pro 5 program that's going to select the particular type of sample code that I want to run BB Jasper program, and I'm going to look at one that shows an old add-on manufacturing company invoice, and this is taking advantage of a report generated in iReport, either utilizing stored procedures or utilizing SQL to gain access to my legacy data. And you'll notice here I have some active URLs to be able to drill down looking at the various invoices for this particular customer, or I could, for example, drill down to looking at the particular invoice, seeing the contents of that. So those are examples of functionality that is available in the BB Jasper world and with the iReport's open source report writing tool, but that we can run those from within our Pro 5 application code, or Visual Pro 5 application code in this case. Another example I want to do, last one really, of the pre-built ones that ship with the product, is a rebate form, and this is going to take advantage of some charting types. I'm using this as a progress bar down here to show the progress of generating that PDF chart. I can save it locally. Let me overwrite this test PDF file, and then I can bring it up in a multimedia viewer, BBJ multimedia viewer. You're taking advantage of open source Java libraries to be able to view the contents of a multimedia file. So very powerful functionality. And let's have a look at the last couple of examples before we finish off our session today. The last couple of examples we want to look at is emailing and faxing. So let's firstly look at a very simple email program. So this is a Pro 5 program, and I'm XCalling the xemail.src, passing the various bits of information that I've gleaned from a very simple user input. So let's have a look at that running. So we're going to invoke Visual Pro 5 from my command prompt and run that Visual Pro 5 program. And then I'll type in the username, my Gmail account, my password. So that's necessary to set up the email. And I'll give it the from. I'll paste that same Gmail account to. Let's send it to this Java break Gmail account that I have, and we'll have a look at that email coming through. And we'll need to give it a subject line, something very simple. Hi there. And then a message. So just typing in some simple text for the message. And then we'll go ahead and send the email. And then if we go along and have a look at my Gmail, there it is. There's the test message in my inbox. Let's look at the last one. It's XFax, so using a little capability to fax a document out. Again, a very simple one. We're going to run Visual Pro 5. We're going to do a selection of a document to be faxed. I'm going to take that same rebate.pdf file that I generated earlier, and let's put in a phone number to fax that to. And this is going to go to a web-based fax service so that I can view the fax after we've sent it. So the fax has been sent, and let's go and load up our browser to view the contents of that fax, and there it is. So you'll see here we have the Java 4less, that's the open source, not the open source in this case, it's actually a fee-paid Java library that we've used to do the faxing, and that gives us the capability of sending this out. It's a very inexpensive Java library that one can purchase, and there's our PDF file that's been faxed to us. That last example is actually being utilized by one of our customers, TAI, with their club management software. So in their case, they had the challenge of enhancing the email capabilities and security of their application. So the application is a Visual Pro 5 application, and they had some issues on password verification and wanting to take advantage of BBJ's emailing functionality. So they did that by utilizing XCALL from within their Visual Pro 5 code. For additional resources on XCALL, we recommend that you have a look at the Basis Advantage magazine. There are 2 articles in there, one that talks about TAI's experience in using XCALL. The other example is one of utilizing the charting capabilities from within BBJ. And of course, there's a previous Java break, Mixing and Matching Pro 5 in BBJ, where we spoke about the usage of XCALL. So in summary, some of the use cases for the XCALL verb, including some that we've shown you today, is the ability to fax documents, print PDFs, create V-keyed and X-keyed files, create BBJ forms, run reports created with iReport, consume web services, one that we didn't show you today, but you can surely see how you could parse XML documents by utilizing open source Java libraries, easily send email, public key cryptography, and how you could access databases with JDBC instead of either ODBC, or if you're on the Unix world wanting to still access third-party databases, you can do that via JDBC utilizing XCALL, and how we could publish Google Docs. Before we take your questions, quick reminder, the next Java break will be TechCon AdCon Preview. We'll run this Java break on April 6th, same time, same place, just about a month ahead of TechCon, so a good time to have a sneak peek at some of the things that we'll be showing you at TechCon. So that's in Las Vegas on May 9th through to the 11th. Look forward to seeing you there, and of course we'll have training to back up TechCon, so have a look at our website to see more information about that. So let's take your questions.